I thought my blood pressure medicine was keeping me safe. But every morning, the numbers kept climbing higher. 145, then 160, then one terrifying morning, the monitor flashed 174 over 105. I remember gripping the edge of my kitchen counter, wondering if this was how heart attacks began. My wife looked at me with worry in her eyes. She whispered, "Maybe it's just stress." But deep down, I knew something was off. I ate healthy. I exercised. I took every pill the doctor prescribed. Yet my blood pressure was getting worse. I was 67, and it felt like my body was giving up on me. Until one night, a small, almost silly change, something I did before bed, started to turn everything around. And in just 3 weeks, my readings were back to normal. This is my story.
Maybe you saw a piece of your own story in mine. Maybe your heart has been whispering for help too, just waiting for you to listen. Remember, it's never too late to start again. Your heart's been beating for you all your life. Maybe now it's time to beat with you. If this story touched you, give your heart one more gift today. Click that subscribe button and stay with us. Because here, every story is a second chance, and every heartbeat is a reminder you're still alive for a reason. Take care of yourself tonight. And remember, your next heartbeat could be the start of something beautiful.
The following week, I sat across from my doctor, staring at the blood pressure chart on his screen. "Your systolic pressure is creeping up again," he said, calmly, but I could hear the concern hiding behind his professional tone. He adjusted my medication, told me to reduce salt, avoid caffeine, and walk 30 minutes a day. I nodded, like I always did, but I'd already done all that. Every morning, I checked my pulse, ate oatmeal instead of bacon, switched to decaf. Yet my readings stayed stubbornly high. I started feeling trapped, like my own body was working against me. Nights became the worst. I'd lie in bed, feeling my heart pound in my chest, each beat reminding me of my fear. Sometimes I'd wake up gasping, not from a nightmare, but from my heart racing for no reason. I remember telling my wife, "Maybe I'll just have to live with this." She shook her head gently. "No, we'll figure it out," she said. Her words gave me hope, but I was still lost. One Sunday afternoon, while scrolling through a medical newsletter for seniors, I found an article titled, "Why Nighttime Habits May Be the Real Cause of Morning Hypertension." I clicked, curious, desperate. And what I read next changed everything. The article said that for many people over 60, high blood pressure isn't just about salt or stress. It's about what happens in the hours before sleep. The body's circadian rhythm, the internal clock that controls blood pressure, heart rate, and hormones, begins to shift with age. And when our nighttime routine fights against that rhythm, the heart never truly rests. That's when it clicked. My problem wasn't my medicine or my diet. It was something I was doing every single night without realizing it.
That night, I sat in my recliner, reading the article again, line by line. It mentioned something I'd never heard before: sympathetic overactivation. The writer explained how the body's fight or flight system, the same one that protects us from danger, can stay turned on at night, especially in older adults. When this happens, the heart doesn't slow down to rest. It keeps beating like it's still daytime. Blood vessels stay tight. Pressure stays high. And without realizing it, we wake up with elevated blood pressure every morning. I sat there in silence, thinking, what could I possibly be doing that keeps my body so alert at night? Then it hit me. My nightly routine. Every night after dinner, I'd sit in front of the TV, watching late-night news until almost midnight. And while I watched, I'd sip on a cup of tea. Not herbal tea, black tea, loaded with caffeine. Sometimes I'd even snack on salted peanuts. Harmless habits, I thought. But together, they were doing something terrible. The caffeine kept my heart alert. The salt kept my body holding on to water. The stressful news raised my adrenaline. It was like sending a message to my body every night saying, stay awake, stay tense, stay ready. I didn't need another pill. I needed peace before bed. So that very night, I changed everything. I turned off the TV at 8:30. I brewed a cup of chamomile tea instead of black, and instead of sitting in front of bright screens, I played soft music, dimmed the lights, and read a few pages from an old book. It felt simple, but strangely powerful. My heartbeat slowed, my chest felt lighter. For the first time in months, I fell asleep peacefully. If this story touched your heart, don't let it end here. There's hope, healing, and strength waiting, no matter your age. Subscribe now and join thousands of seniors rediscovering the power of a healthy mind and body, one story at a time. Because growing older doesn't mean slowing down. It means getting wiser, stronger, and more alive than ever. Thank you for watching. And remember, your best years are still ahead of you. The first few nights, I wasn't sure if it would make any difference. But by the fourth night, I noticed something. When I woke up in the morning, my chest didn't feel as tight. My breathing felt calmer. My pulse slower, steadier. Out of curiosity, I took my blood pressure. 138/88. I hadn't seen numbers that good in months. I didn't believe it at first. I thought maybe my monitor was off. But the same thing happened the next day, and the next. Over the next 3 weeks, my readings kept falling, slowly, gently, until one morning I saw it. 122/79. I remember staring at the screen, hardly breathing. My heart felt quiet, not heavy, not strained, just peaceful. When I went back to my doctor, he raised his eyebrows in surprise. He said, "What have you been doing differently?" I smiled. "I started resting before I sleep." He chuckled softly, then nodded. "You'd be amazed," he said, "how many people treat the body, but forget to calm the mind." That day, I realized lowering blood pressure isn't just about avoiding salt or taking pills. It's about restoring balance. When the body rests, the heart heals. And when the mind is calm, the pressure finally drops. One small change before bed saved me from years of fear. And now, every evening, as I turn off the lights, I remind myself, peace is the best medicine.